So welcome to the huddle today. I want to talk to you guys about the podcast studio and about some of the things that's been going on in there, and maybe hopefully encourage you guys to all get in there and do some of this as well. There has been, if you keep an eye on social media channels of Steve Danino and Bill Hoban and Philip Maxwell, Rip Pruitt, Bob, I just listed a whole lot. Guggen, I just listed like our top 7 agents in the building. So keep an eye on their social media channel, and they're top 7 for a reason, and some of the things that they're doing to get there. So there have been some great conversations going on in there, and I don't want you to use the word interview anymore. That word is a dirty word. It's a conversation. I want you guys to have good, fun, not just informative, fun conversations with folks. That's what drives the audience. That's what will make people stick around. It's a blast, and it's funny. It's also in the process informative. So I want you guys to loosen up your ties and have some fun in there, okay? I do want to remind you also there is no food and drink allowed in there. I have ran out 2 people with drinks now so far this week, and I've only been here 2 days this week. So remember to just leave that stuff out on the granite countertop. If you need me to stay in there with you the entire time to kind of keep you on point, that says 2 things: that you weren't prepared for what you're doing in there, and also that it's not conversational. It tends to drift off course, and then you get stuck and don't know where to go. If you keep it conversational, then you don't need me to sit there and hold your hand the entire time. But it does work. These agents are using it. They're using it regularly, and they are getting traction with it. So I want to encourage you to use that studio, use it for conversational purposes. It doesn't even have to be with some expert in the industry. Bob, Nicole, and David just did a piece in there that's coming out tomorrow. And they did it on that, by the way, if you don't know, that's 3 different generations. That's Gen X, that's Millennial, and Gen Z, between the 3 of them. They just did a conversation on teen slang and across 3 generations and how it relates to real estate. And it was actually really funny. I mean, trying to see David McGee use words like drippy is like, I mean, they would quiz each other on how you use it in a sentence and what it means. And it turned into hilarity. It's just good content. Everything you put on your channels should not be god-awful boring just about mortgage rates or interest rates or whatever. You got to show people that you're a human too, okay? You can smile, you can have fun, you can let your hair down. Just make sure it's appropriate, make sure it stays away from bad topics like politics or religion, and make sure that you are prepared when you go in there to do it. And just have a conversation and have fun. It's super simple, and I, again, will help you set up and get started on every single one of them, and then I kind of just dip out and go back to work and let you have your conversation. You come get me when you're done. We did 3 yesterday. Philip, Bill Hoban, and Steve Danino all had guests come in yesterday. And I've done Philip and half of Bill's so far. And they were great. They're great conversations. Again, they weren't interviews. They were just conversations with people. Yes?
Can you give an example of a conversation that they're using as a topic?
It's more the style. It's like Philip has this series going with Maxwell Senior Moments, where, because their clients they're trying to help seniors, either downsizing or finding another home that more fits their needs. And in the process, Here's the approach they've taken. We're trying to help seniors not get ripped off. We're trying to help protect seniors. So they have people come in like this, the Senior Medicare Patrol people that come in that talk about, here are signs that you need to look for if a senior in your family is potentially getting ripped off or getting scammed. And unfortunately, that's the largest sector of the population that falls for it all the time. And ironically and unfortunately, it is 90% of the time, it is a family member that's doing that to them. So he is talking to all kinds of different people. Yesterday, they interviewed somebody from the Bonnie Hobbs Agency, which is MedicareAndOtherRedTape.com, on how to navigate all of that. And so they're creating good content. Doesn't have anything to do with selling somebody a house right now, but it has to do with helping and protecting the portion of the population that they are selling houses to and selling houses for. So they are being a benefit to their audience and not going, oh, and by the way, please call me by this afternoon so I can list your house. That's not how it works. Be a benefit for that segment of the audience. That's what Philip is. Bill, completely different. Bill is spotlighting a geographic area. So he lives in Roswell. He's selling Roswell. He's highlighting small businesses. So he has a series called Shop Local, where he just interviews all of these local businesses around here and even over into Alpharetta. But it has to be a private owned business, like a small business. And what he does is these people come in, they sit down with him, they do an interview, they talk all about their stuff, maybe they bring some stuff to show, and then they share it on their social media and they send it out in their newsletter to all of their customers. And there's Bill Estate, just the host and facilitating all of this, because we have something that they couldn't get into anywhere else to do, a studio. They wanted to sit down and talk about their business. What business owner doesn't want to sit and talk about their business for half an hour? But they didn't have the means to do it. So Bill just provided that to them. And then in turn, they sent it out to everybody. So he's getting really good reach on his series. Shorts in there are great, under 59 seconds. If you're going to do a vertical video in there, and your phone's turned up this ways, it's got to be 59 seconds or less. Otherwise, you screw yourself out of Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts. You can't go on either one of those platforms if it's over 59 seconds. I don't know why they say 60 seconds. It's not really 50 seconds. It's 60 seconds. It's 59 seconds. Same thing for YouTube. If you put a 60-second video on YouTube, even if you shoot it vertical and it's 60 seconds, when you upload it to YouTube, it puts it on regular YouTube, which will have your skinny video and giant black wasted space on both sides, which just annoys people when they try to watch videos because it will not go full screen. It's horizontal and you have to turn your phone sideways, and then it's a vertical strip in the middle. So you have just wasted a ton of real estate on the screen. If it's going on Facebook Reels, IG for most users is up to 90 actually. For Reels, the YouTube Shorts are also 59 or below. But here's the thing, if you're gonna do a video and it comes out a minute 48, well, okay, then you shot it vertically, now you're just screwed. Like now you gotta put it on platforms where it's gonna look like junk and annoy people. I'll give you another tip along that line. Most people usually do both. I have had people sit in there, Guggen sat in there, Chris Romero did an interview with a lender that is primarily speaks Spanish. And they did the whole thing in Spanish, and it was 15, 16 minutes long. And then Chris said, I want to do a reel also promoting this video. So then we just stopped it, turned the phone vertical, and got them to scooch in tighter, because On a horizontal video, you could get both guys in. On a vertical video, now you just got Chris. So I had to get them to scooch in shoulder to shoulder and pulled back a little bit. And then they did a 45-second version of it with like one question and answer, and then say, if you want to get more in this conversation, and there's a whole lot more to it, go to my YouTube channel. You know, it'll be up there Thursday afternoon at 2 o'clock or whatever. We'll post it. He kind of now he's putting that on Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, all to promote the long form video on his YouTube channel. While you're sitting there or standing wherever you go to record it, you might as well do both. You're already mic'd up, you're already in a studio. Just stop the first video, turn it, and go. Any more questions? Yes?
So when you're doing local businesses, I don't think you invite them over, but do you just interview them? You just make a conversation with them like that, and then you play it in the podcast room?
No, you can invite them here. Bill's guests all come in here.
Okay.
We have outside guests come in and do the videos. In fact, they want to, because they don't have a studio. They don't have microphones, and they don't have a system where they're going to get that kind of good audio. So invite them here by all means. Just, you know, make sure you meet them at the front door. They can't walk around unescorted or whatever, and just have them sit in the cellar. And I would highly recommend have them here before your time to do it. If you will notice, when you walk through the cellar a lot, Bill Hoban will be sitting at the high top table with a couple of people. He's there having a 15-20 minute pre-recording conversation with everybody. So he'll ask them, you know, some questions. Where you from? All that. So he can make little notes, and then he can have it and reference it when he goes in there to do recording. It takes a lot of the awkwardness out of it. Plus the conversation, it's like giving an engine some gas before you get going, and then driving, getting the engine warmed up. That's all he's doing, is getting the engine warmed up. They're just getting the conversation flowing, and they're like, okay, now let's go record. We got momentum, we got movement, we've got, you know, good dialogue going on. Let's go record this thing. And then they go in there and sit down, and I get you started. And if you're interested in learning how to use it on your own correctly, we have 2 people so far that have been signed off on, and they have the code to the door, and that's Worrell and Guggen. And they have learned it, they can start it, they can stop it, they can save it properly, they reset the studio, they do everything exactly perfectly, which is why they have access to come in and do it even when the door's locked. They can get in to do that. If you want to do that, just see me, get on my calendar, and I'll help you get trained up on it. All right? Cool? All right, good. Everybody go have a great week. Here we go.